Do your servo wires look like this, all flat and funky, but you want them to look like that, all twisted and nice? Well, grab a brewer, come on, hang out with me, we're gonna do it. Hey, what up guys and gals? It's Chunky C. Glad you could join me on this funky day. We got a lot of rain over here. But hey, I want to bump my gums a little bit today. I want to talk to you about twisting your wires in your aircraft. Some folks might ask, why would I want to waste time doing that? If you know anything about electricity and electrical current passing through wires, you'll understand that anytime you have an electrical current passing through a wire, you're going to induce RF interference. Basically, as current passes through a wire, it generates a magnetic field around the wire, and if there's a signal wire next to it, just like these servo leads have, you're going to induce a little bit of interference. A lot of folks are going to argue with that, and they're going to say that, well, the amount of current going through it's not a lot of current. It's not going to make that big of a difference, and they're right. If there is interference, it's not much, but it doesn't take much to interfere with a PWM signal either. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys to decide whether or not you want to twist them for that reason. Like I said, I've done a lot of research on them, done a lot of reading. I've read a lot of articles from people with electrical engineering degrees, and they all do this, and those guys are a lot smarter than me, and high tech does it. So apparently these folks know something that I don't. So me personally, I like twisting my wires. But as far as an aesthetics point of view, something that makes the wire more user friendly, that's the main reason that I do it. Yes, I mean, I have a story I can tell you about a wire problem that I had with a servo, and I'll tell you that in a second. The wiring, when you take and split the cable individually apart and you twist it, you make the wire very limp. It's very easy to deal with. It's very easy to manipulate through your aircraft. Plus, it looks a lot better. I think it gives it a more finished look than this does. Yeah, you might lose a little bit of length whenever you twist them up, but that's no big deal. And for me, I go ahead and I kind of plan it out and make sure that I can afford to lose that length. But I actually have an experience where I had an airplane that was getting interference on one of the servos. The servos would just sit there and it would just jitter. I believe it was actually catching interference from the 900 megahertz on the FR Sky, but a lot of the wiring inside, it was my Ultra Stick 10cc. It's a very small fuselage. If you know anything about the plane, I had a lot of crap in there, and I had a lot of wires wrapped up around themselves, and they were all flat wires like this. I hadn't twisted any of them. I racked my brain, I researched, I moved this, I moved that, and I noticed that whenever I moved the wiring and I separated the wiring, the glitching went away. So I remember somewhere, long time ago, I read about twisting wires, and I researched it, and I did it. I took all the wiring out of the plane that I could twist, all the servos, the extension leads for the servos. I even did the switch harness, the power switch harness, everything that I could twist, I twisted. I put it all back together, and when I did, the servo twitching went away. They were just as quiet. They didn't move, didn't twitch, had zero interference. By what I could tell, I could put my finger on top of it, I couldn't feel it twitching. So that made me a believer in this system. But like I said, it's totally up to you if you want to believe in that. But if nothing else, I can also tell you, if you twist them up, it gives you a better look, and it makes the wire more limp, more supple, so that it's easier to manage, and whenever you tuck it away somewhere, it'll stay tucked away. And if you have to zip tie it to the side of the fuselage, or if you have one of those little stick-on little one of those little, I can't remember what they call them. They're basically just servo wire clips that stick onto the side of the fuselage so that it clips in. When it's round like this, it will clip into that holder a lot better than a flat wire. So keep that in mind. But I'm gonna get set up here. We're going to twist this one. I'm gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna show you how I get it to stay. You can't just pull the wires apart and give it a twist real hard and then take your hands off and expect it to stay, because eventually it'll just unwrap. So stand by, we're going to do that. Alright, I've got the servo in my vice grip right here. Vice grip in my bench vise. If you guys have a bench vise, this will make your life a lot easier. You really need something to hold whatever you're working on one end while you twist this. You know, if you don't have a bench vise, but you got a 10-year-old running around or a wife, you can have them hold it while you work. You know, you just got to improvise, do what you got to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to split all of these wires into separate individual wires. So no need to use a razor or anything like that. They're already been started down here on the plug. You know, they've already got a split, so just make it a little bit larger and just pull it and keep going all the way down to the end. Now, some servos do not have a nice little boot strain relief on them like this JR does. Some of them, you know, the wire just goes right inside of the darn servo. So usually with that, I would probably leave maybe about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. That's not spread apart outside of the servo, just kind of help with strain relief. You know, you don't want to pull too hard and accidentally separate something inside of the servo. So now that we have everything separated, you want to make sure when you're twisting these wires that you don't accidentally have one. If you let the end plug, say, do one of these numbers right here, you're going to wind up with a twist. And if you try to twist the wire when it's looped over, you know, over itself like this, you're going to wind up, there's going to be a funky spot in the wire somewhere. It's going to have a bulge or a wire sticking out, kind of weird. So just make sure whenever you're twisting these before you start, after you pull them apart, because that's when it's going to happen. When you separate these, somehow every now and then it gets a weird twist in the end, and that's what happens. So make sure that they're all separated. Couple of different ways you can do this. You can do it by hand. If you have a small servo or a small wire, maybe a power wire or something like that, you have to twist, by all means, you know, do it by hand. But if you have a longer run, say a 24-inch extension, you know, running down the fuselage to an elevator servo or something like that, or out to an aileron servo, then you might want to use a drill. I prefer to use a drill on the longer ones. Something like this, I would probably just do it by hand. You know, it really won't take that long. But to just demonstrate today, I've got the old DeWalt out here. We're going to twist it with this. So I back it all the way in, and I put the wire, I put it all the way to the back of the chuck till you feel it touch the back wall. And then I just slowly run it in. Now you don't have to tighten it real tight, just lightly, because if you go too tight, you're going to crush the plastic plug, and then you're going to be replacing that. So as I turn this, I'm going to be pulling it toward me to kind of keep everything kind of tight. And while I'm twisting it, I'm going to hold the wire down here toward the servo, because I don't want to go too far and start twisting and then twist the wire all the way up into the servo and wind up pulling something loose inside the servo. So I just pinch it and hold it, pull the drill toward me, and then I slowly just twist it. You can get it as loose or as tight as you want. I kind of like mine a little tighter. So we're going to stop right there. I'm going to set the drill down and let the drill hold everything. So I'm going to let go up here at the servo, see how that does. That's good. It's not running off into the servo. So here's the secret sauce right here, guys. Get yourself a heat gun, put it on a low setting, and move it up and down. The trick is to keep the heat gun moving. Don't stop in one spot and get distracted and looking at something else, and then you come up, and next thing you know, you've melted through the jacket of the wire, and you done melted through it and made a big old mess. use the low setting, keep it moving, go from side to side. Another thing you might run into, some of these wires, some of these servo wires have silicone coating on them instead of PVC. This one right here might be silicone. It felt kind of soft as it was. The PVC are real easy to do. They really are. You just, get them a little warm and let them relax, and they'll stay like that for a while. The silicone, they're a little trickier. You have to actually get them hotter because silicone is resistant to heat. It just doesn't get bothered by it like PVC does. So the way I like to do it, like I said, just keep moving up and down. I switch side to side, and I vary my speed. Sometimes I'll go slow, sometimes I'll speed it up, get a little faster. But the trick is keep it moving. Always moving the heat gun. Now some guys, when they're done with this, talk to people out the field and they're like, yeah, when I get done, I get an ice cube and run it up and down, or I spray ice cold water on it. I've never had to do that. I've had, luck with just doing it the way I do it. And when I get done heating it up, I just let it rest. I just let it sit there for a minute or so and just let it do its thing. I don't know about you guys, but my garage gets 90 degrees in the summertime, and trying to keep ice cubes down here would be a pain in the butt, and I'm not running upstairs to the refrigerator every single time I want to twist a cable. So I just let it do its own thing. I'll stop and I'll take a feel of it. Yeah, we're getting pretty hot. That's good. And you probably can't see it on the camera, but it's relaxed. The camera, the wire is actually starting to droop. Now, if you were holding this by hand, I think that'll be enough. If you were holding this by hand and you didn't have the drill holding it, if you twisted it by hand, you would feel the wire would be trying to work against you, would be trying to unravel. As you heat that with a heat gun, you'll actually start to feel that wire start to relax, and it won't be working against you. It'll just relax. You could actually feel like you could twist it some more, and there would be zero resistance to it. That's how you know when you're starting to relax the coating on the wiring, and whenever that coating gets relaxed, you just take the heat away, just let it chill for a couple of minutes, and then take everything apart, and it should look exactly like this. Alright, so there it is. That is it. I let it rest for a few minutes just to do its own thing, took it out of the drill, and that's exactly how it stayed right there. This does feel like a silicone. You might have to do it again with silicone, but usually if you wrap it pretty tight like I did, like I've done here, and get it pretty hot, it'll stay like this forever. I have some servos that I did a year ago, and they're still twisted just fine. They haven't even relaxed. One little thing I would give you a pointer on, though, I would say it's better to do a tight twist like this than to do one that's really loose where the wires are kind of bulging out and there's gaps in between them. The only reason being is if you're pulling wires through a plane that are tight like this, they're less likely to get snagged on anything. If the coils or the wraps are loose and they're kind of fanned out and just kind of spread out from each other, things will get stuck in the gap. They'll get hung on stuff, so it could be kind of a pain in the butt to pull through the airplane. Plus, if you have a lot of wiring that's laying around and the wraps aren't very tight, then one wire might fall down inside the wrap, and they'll just turn into a bird's nest and get tangled, and you'll just be and get all aggravated just like I would. So, but that's it, guys. It's really easy, and in my opinion, I think it's well worth the time to do this. You could see, look how limp this wire is. I mean, before it was, it was really stiff. Now it's, like an old man, I guess you could say, kind of like me. But we ain't going to discuss that. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hey, if you like it, you know, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and until the next time, peace.